Hello, book besties.
I'm Albie.
And I'm Nikki,
Welcome to Backstage with the Book Babes.
where we spill the tea on the secret lives of your favorite romance authors.
We can't wait to introduce you to our guest author today. She writes in a few different subgenres, so it should be a fun one. But first, how have you been doing, Nikki?
I'm fantastic. I finally got around to watching Heated Rivalry, so I'm super excited about that. It was so good. You know, everyone's been totally hyping it up, but it's worth it. It lives up to the hype. And then other than that, I've just been, I got the first copies of the new covers that I got for my second book. They're so pretty. I love them so much. Anyway.
I love that. I love that it's red for the red line.
Yes.
I was going to say, I really like the color.
Yes. That was the
just
plan.
on brand.
I'm slowly switching the series over because there's 5 books plus the prequel novella. So the designer who did the little characters for me is working on them. So hopefully in the next few weeks I'll have them all out. Yay. How about
That's
you?
exciting.
What's up with you, Albie?
I am deep into solving all the problems of my roller derby romance because it wouldn't be me without writing a bunch of problems. And I'm already thinking about book 2, and like I'm finding so many plot bunnies, and I'm like, look at this is a great idea. And my editor keeps texting me like, don't chase them. like just finish the books that you promised. So
She's like, don't follow the
we're happy
white
to-
rabbit.
But it sounds so fun.
Yeah,
We'll
always.
see what happens. We'll
Yeah.
see who's in control on that one. Probably her.
She's got to whip you into
But
shape.
yeah, that's exactly. Ooh. Excuse me. Erin, please don't really whip me.
Oh my God, you're hilarious. Okay. Yeah, that's what's up with us.
Yeah.
But now we're going to introduce our guest author, who is Aubrey Taylor, a fellow Canadian author. Huge book babe. Welcome to you, Aubrey.
Thank you.
Hi,
I'm
welcome,
so
Aubrey.
excited to be here. When I saw your guys' forum in the SportsCon thing, I was like, oh, I really want to apply to this because I love doing things like this. I love talking to people. And like just in this setting, I'm not very good in like inhuman situations, but like these kind of settings, these are my favorite places to be.
Oh, perfect.
I think we can all relate. And for some reason, my printer just started printing something. That was weird. I'm going to cut that out.
It was like, pay attention to me.
There's a ghost in my printer, I guess. I don't know.
It's just
Yeah,
another
we feel
book
the same
idea,
way.
it's
That's
fine.
Yeah.
the ghost in the like love letters being just printed through the printer. I feel like
Oh,
that's been
that's
done
actually
before. Like
run with it.
faxes,
I like
yeah.
that.
That'd
Yeah.
be super fun though.
Plot bunnies. There they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So we're happy to have you on with us. We saw that you write in a few different subgenres of romance, including small town and sports. Can you tell us a little about your books and the genres you write in?
Yeah. When I first started writing, it was a lot of just kind of I like to call myself a mood writer because I'm not necessarily someone who's like, okay, this is going to be my genre and I'm going to stay in it. This is my lane, here I am kind of thing. And I think sometimes it's hard to market, that's for sure, because you're like, hey, I write all of these things, and they're like, wait a second. But I have a couple books out before the sports romance series, and then I started Bad Honey, which is the first book in my baseball romance series. And it kind of started because I have an obsession with like early 2000s CW shows, like OC,
Yes.
Friday Night
Yes.
Lights, like all just that nostalgic, like gritty drama, and you're watching it and you're thinking, man, these teenagers are so dumb. But also you're like, I would probably do that too if I had free reign on this situation. And I think I was like, you know what, I'm gonna write a college baseball romance, but I'm gonna do it in a
Nice.
way that feels true to me. And so that's kind of where it started. And then I've also got a cowboy series, which isn't
Me
my
too.
first, which
I'm
isn't,
working
yeah,
on,
which
yeah.
isn't like my first genre to go into, but I co-write that with a friend. So she kind of takes
Yes, I
care
did
of
see
like
that.
all
Yeah.
the super important like cowboy stuff where I'm like, what's
Mm.
that dinglehopper thing that you put on a horse and you strap it in and and she's like, you're talking about a saddle, Aubrey. And I'm like, oh, a thing. Yeah. Not me.
Yeah.
That's not my specialty. She does all that. But those are really fun to write. And then now my most recent one, the one that we were supposed to talk about at SportsCon, is my rugby series. And
cool.
I played rugby for a really long time. I still watch it. I still love it. It's probably my favorite sport to engage myself in. And I really wanted to kind of tip it on its side because I know a lot of rugby series focuses on male rugby teams because obviously why not? Like thighs, muscles, we love that stuff. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
love that stuff. Like it's not
Mhm.
outside of
Where
that
they
realm,
really
but
grip each other's shorts.
oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just tug each other
Yeah.
around.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to kind of flip it on the side because I know rugby from a female perspective. And so the rugby series that I'm writing now is all from female rugby players.
Nice.
So all the main characters
So
are female
cool.
rugby players. And that's kind of where I started with that. And I'm super excited about that one.
Love that. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. I used to live right down the street from the Oval, in Melbourne, and so I was like, I'd always see the rugby players out there,
Yeah.
and
That's
yeah.
incredible.
Oh, that's awesome. I
I
love
know
that, and I love
zero
like
things
doing
about
different
rugby.
sports.
Nothing.
Oh my
You should
gosh,
start.
you should totally watch it. It's
I would
fantastic.
read a book, is
Yeah.
what I would. I would read a book with rugby in it.
There you go. That's true. Yeah.
That's fair though.
Well, you could read a female-based one now.
Yeah, there we go. Now I
Yeah.
have an author. I got a hookup. It's good.
You got a hookup. It's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. Perfect.
Oh my goodness.
I got the inside
Oh.
scoop.
Of course. Yeah. So I absolutely love everything about that, what you're doing. The CW, the rugby, like fantastic. Can you tell us about the first book you ever wrote? Did you publish it?
Technically, yeah, I did. So I started on Wattpad or AO3
Oh, okay.
for
Yeah.
some of the
Mhm.
tossbacks. AO3 moved to, well, there was LiveJournal and then there was AO3 and then moved to Wattpad and
LiveJournal.
aging myself, but that's okay. And I used to write all kinds of different fan fiction. Loved that kind of stuff. And my first book that I actually published was a fan fiction that I had uploaded to Wattpad that I took down and rewrote as a novel and published it. But I don't talk about that one very much because it was like I've grown so much since then in my
Fair.
writing. Like even the contrast between that one and Bad Honey they're only probably a year and a half apart maybe.
Mm.
And the writing in them is so different because I think I found my voice as I was going through that old one. So I would consider technically Bad Honey being, like, if people ask me that question, I lead them towards Bad Honey as being the first one published before I'm like, here's my backlog of really bad books. But
Yeah. Will you tell us what it was a fanfic of?
it was a it was a Bucky like Barnes Marvel and Steve Rogers love triangle. Yeah.
Nice.
And
I love that.
they like had a summer home in Georgia and it was just messy and fun and all of these things and it was ridiculous. There was so much going on in that book that now I'll start writing a book and I'll start plotting it and I'll go back and I'll be like, okay, this is getting way too Bucky, Steve love triangle. There's way too much going on here. We need to
Nice.
reel it in, bring it back. Yeah.
That's good. See,
So-
you learning from
Oh my
your
goodness.
experience. That's
Yeah.
part of writing,
I
right?
love that.
Exactly.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
So you're talking about the CW and 2000s inspiration. Did you have anything other where else your ideas come from?
I definitely I'm a huge movie and TV watcher, binger for sure. Music sometimes hits, like you'll be listening to a song like Bad
Yeah.
Honey originally. I was listening to a Bleachers album and Don't Take the Money came on, and I was sitting there listening to it and I was like, this would make a really good opening title scene to a baseball television drama. And then I messaged my friend and I was like, how crazy would I be to write a sports romance? Because at the time I was only writing like supernatural, like paranormal, dark stuff.
Mm.
And I was like, how insane would I be to just like absolutely flip genres and write a sports romance? And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, I had an idea, but it came from a song. Like I was just listening to a song and I was like, you know, this could be a soundtrack to a movie, and I now need to write the movie for it, so.
That's so
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
I love that.
Mhm.
I would be that friend that would be texting me being like, do it.
Yeah.
Do it now.
She's
Straight up,
definitely an
Drop
enabler.
everything.
I love that. Everyone
Yesterday
needs
I
an
was like,
enabler in their life.
I really want to hire this cover designer, but she's expensive. And Albie's like, well, let me go look at her work. And she's like, well, that's
Uh-huh.
really good.
Yeah, I'm like that with art. Like, someone will be like, do I need art? And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, who are you looking at? And they'll send it to me. I'm like, you need art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You need art.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it wasn't good, I would have said you don't need it,
Yeah.
but because it's good,
It's
you
pretty
need
good.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Yeah. I love that though that you got the idea from a song because I've definitely done the same thing where I've literally pulled over as a song's coming on and I'm starting to write out the book on my phone. And
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a problem because I'm really late to meet my friends now.
It's never a
That's fine.
problem. It's always just a speed bump. Okay?
There you go. I'm
You're
gonna use
getting
that
where you're
next time.
going. You're just gonna take a little
Yeah.
bit longer, but you have something important to write down. At least you
Exactly.
pulled over. Some people don't. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's true.
there you
Yeah.
go.
No, I'm not gonna.
I have
Oh my
dictated
gosh.
things in my notes app on while driving before, for sure. Oh, I got this.
You ever
gotta
read them
write that.
back and you're like, what does
What
this
did this
say?
Although if I write in my notebook
Yeah.
with my hands, I also can't read what I wrote, so it's always
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's very true. I was changing phones and I was going through the notes in my phone and I had one note to myself and it said, um, cartographers are on the take, mole people. And I'm like, where was I going with this idea?
You'll figure it out one day. Like, you'll just be
Yeah.
sitting there and you'll
Just
be like,
be like
I
a
know
light
where
bulb.
I was going with the mole people.
We'll literally see a
You
light
know,
bulb over your head.
Yeah. That'd be a
I
book
clearly thought it
announcement.
was great. Oh my gosh. I'll text y'all when I come up with it where it was from.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. So you were saying that you were co-writing. I think it's with Jessica Norton, right?
Yeah.
How does that work exactly? Like, what's the process of plotting and writing and back and forth and all that?
I think my first suggestion, if you're ever going to co-write with someone, is only do it with someone you trust. Because it's one of those situations where, like, I don't know about anybody else, but like even in the editing process, if someone suggests something to me, if I'm not in the right mood, I'm like, don't offend me. Stop. Don't do that. Like, you hurt my feelings. Don't do that. And I think co-writing with someone can sometimes elicit the same sort of feelings. Like, you can kind of get that rejection, sensitivity, and dysphoria from even of someone that you are good friends with. And so I think having someone that you like truly trust and someone you vibe with really well is important. Jessica and I go through like extensive, God love her, she absolutely bends to my plotting because I have to plot everything.
Oh, okay.
And so she bends to that a lot when we do things. She helps me and she allows me to plot everything to a T, like character bios, weird things down to what kind of licorice they like. Just like,
Oh wow.
just abs like you would think that the FBI has done a docket on these characters by the time I finish. And she just sits there and she's like, yep, you keep going, you're doing great, sweetie. And so I think a lot of writing with someone is being able to be on the same page, but also being able to compromise with each other in areas where, like, okay, she likes to do it this way, I like to do it this way. We're going to meet in the middle and get all these details out, but then she can use the details that I've given her to create the character that we both see in our head. So
That's
that
cool.
helps a lot.
Yeah.
Did you always do like the characterization like that? Or is this something you learned to do?
It's definitely something that I've grown into. I know that it doesn't work for everybody. And like a lot of people are pantsers, right? Like they just write. And I'm so jealous of people that can write like that and all that kind of thing. But I definitely learned my lesson with Bad Honey. And I've started to kind of like go through now. Like if you look at the original document for Bad Honey when I was writing it, it's not like that at all. There's like 2 little short blurbs on the characters. There's not a lot of information, stuff like that. But as I was going through the series, there's 5 books. There's 5 books and 2 novellas in that series now. And as I was going through it, I was like, okay, what did so-and-so say in book 1
Yes,
to
yeah.
this person that elicited this reaction? And I was like, I really need to start forming a better system for myself so I can remember these things so that they connect flawlessly like that. And I think that's kind of where it grew out of, was just making sure that I had a system in place so that my brain wasn't like,
Yeah.
because
No.
I would have lost my mind.
Especially when you're writing in series, for sure. I do have that problem too, because I'm definitely more of a pantser, and sometimes I go back and I'm like, what did I like? The book I'm publishing, I'm working on now, is a spin-off from my hockey series, so it's The Best Friend, and then I have to go back and be like, what color are her eyes? You know, like what was going on? You know,
The eyes. I am so bad for eye color. We wrote the first Whiskey River book, Huckleberry. During the editing process, our editor came back to me and Jessica and was like, you 2 need to pick an eye color. Because this man has 4 eye colors, and which one do you want it to be? And I was like, that's my fault. Because I will just, in the moment, I'm like, you know what? His eyes are bluer now.
Yeah.
And now
I'm
they're
feeling
brown.
blue. I'm vibing with blue. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the paranormal aspect where his eye color keeps changing.
I'm so bad for him. It's like, whatever.
I started being more like, as I go
that.
through the edits, like my first time, then I start writing stuff down then, and that way I can kind of refer back
Which
to
works.
that.
It still works.
Yeah.
You still have like a place
Yeah.
to go back and be like, oh, this is where this came in. Okay.
Yeah. Or this random character that
I'm learning
only
so
gets
much right
mentioned
now
once.
because I don't do
any of this.
Yeah, I don't do any of it. No, I was texting with my cover designer yesterday, and she's like, "So what colors are their jerseys?" And I'm like, "No clue. Whatever color you make them is the color I will change my book to be."
I do that.
I
did that. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Yep.
The character art I got for this, I told her like what her dress looked like for the gala and whatever, because it's the hotel room after the gala, and the designer did it, and I got the piece of art, and then I was editing my book, and I was like, wait, what color did I say her shoes were? And they were different colors, so I changed it in the manuscript to match the art.
Yeah.
I do that all the time. I think the most recent art I got, one of the arts I got done for the rugby book, there's a scene where they go bowling. And when I had originally wrote it, his shirt was, I don't even know what color his shirt was, but it wasn't what I had told the artist. And then it came back and I was like, oh, that's a black shirt. And then I was reading through in edits and it wasn't the same. And I was like, well, it's black shirt now.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I love that. Yeah.
Oh my god.
My cat just is like freaking out. He's running all over my room chasing little plastic spring right now. So he's very distracted.
My desk shake. It's because my cat has jumped up on top of it.
Yeah.
To get to her bed. That's usually what happens.
Bombs from our cats sticking their faces in. So you actually answered our next question, told us you were a plotter. So I'll be why don't you move on to the next one?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, oops.
Right in the right spot, too.
Yeah, you're just so talented.
Just a yapper. Okay.
It's the
but I'm loving our conversation.
Telepathy.
So.
Yeah.
So how spicy are your books? Like, I know it's subjective and everything. Everybody has their own standard. But for you, what would you tell readers? Like, this is my spice level.
I think it depends. Most of my books are I like to say they're character driven rather than plot driven. And so some of them are very spice heavy, and some of them only have one chapter of spice. Like I think Bad Honey has maybe like 2 or 3 scenes, but none of them are like what I would like if I read another person's book and I was like, whoa, right? But like in a good way, a good whoa. But I'd be like, that's a 4 spicy. But like for me, a lot of the times, like from what I've noticed, other people rating them, they usually fall between 2 and a 3 spice area. The last book in the series, Honey and Done, that one got ramped up. I got some 4 spices for that one, which was impressive by my standards. But it's usually just like one of those situations where if I come across a natural stopping point where I'm like, oh, you know what? Some smut would be nice here. Usually I'll just put it in, but I don't plot my books around smut. So I'd say they hinge on the other side of less spicy in terms of what's going on and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I wish there was like a feature that like not only could people rate your books, but they could rate how spicy it is, so they could tell us how spicy it is.
Yeah,
that would be great.
That would be
Goodreads,
nice.
get on this.
It doesn't one of
something.
one of those, I don't think like Fable or Storygraph. I feel like one of those rating places has a spice type rating, but I don't know which one. I'm not on them, so I'm not sure.
I don't even have Goodreads like on anything. I'll like send my friend MK, I'll be like, my PA, I'll be like, hey, can you go make sure that the cover is right on this book? She'll go in and she'll look, but I won't go on there because I just
same.
spiral.
But I had to get it. I've hired a new PA to do some things for me, and yesterday she was like, "Do you have the Goodreads link for that?" And I was like, "Oh,
you can."
But
go
it's
find
not
it.
out yet, so I did click on it and search it and find the link. And I do also need to change my cover because it's got the placeholder on there too. But
she can.
I haven't
your
even
PA
looked.
can email. Just so we're all aware, you don't have to do it yourself. You can find someone else.
I'm in a Facebook group, Goodreads. Find a Goodreads librarian, and then you just post your request on there, and they will do it for
there's
you.
like roundabout ways to like get it done without going on that website. So I do appreciate that.
I did stop going on there years ago too. Traumatizing.
I keep track of the books I read on there. I mean, I don't rate them, but I do keep track. But I'm really good. I don't look at my book. I don't look at my friends' books.
You are so much stronger than me.
Yeah, it's the only thing I'm strong in. So
yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm sure that's not true.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
so what are you working on right now? Do you have any of your side characters from other books that have like future plans for stories or
I'm working on book 2 for the rugby series now. It's slowly coming together. I probably have maybe 10 chapters left to write in it, which is nice. It feels like I'm a little ahead of the game, which never happens. And I just finished writing a book for a new series for something else that I'm super excited about because we are venturing into the world of like street racing. Like Fast and the Furious street racing. So we're going
so fun.
we're going into that. So I just finished writing the first book in that series. So that's exciting.
Nice.
But, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It takes me back to my roots. Because not that I did it, but one of my characters in one of my books, he used to do street racing. He got in trouble. Now he's older. And now he does lawnmower races.
I love that so much.
Because he moved out to the country.
Get the thrill wherever you can, right?
How many books do you have planned for your rugby series?
4 and 1 novella. I typically like to plan out the novella so I can think about it in advance before I get it out. And I kind of guess which side character people are going to be like, hey, I want more of this person. And I play a game of, will I pick the right character? And in Bad Honey, in the Hornet's Nest series, I did not pick the right character and ended up with 2 novellas.
Yes.
Because people were like, hey, can we have more? And I was like, 5. Yeah. We can do that.
Are they all standalones or are they like interconnected or how do you do that for series?
When I first started Bad Honey, I wanted them to be standalones, but I don't think that I am actually capable of that in any way. And I'm learning that because I do like them to have connections back to other people and stuff like that. And so they're definitely interconnected. Like I would suggest reading them together if you were going to read them and stuff like that for sure.
Yeah.
So I think
And
that's probably where I'll stick forever is, they're
yeah.
interconnected. Just read them
Yeah.
all.
Same. I every time I write a book, I have like 3 or 4 new series that come out of it because I'm like, well, I have to do this one now.
And
They're
this one and
all
this one.
connected.
Yeah. It's like
Big messy
a
world.
stacking doll.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. For
Yeah.
me, it's like you write one sentence and like I was working on something and I wrote one, I can't remember what it was. I was like, oh, I was talking to the brother was said like, are you sure that's a good idea? And I was like, oh my gosh, now the brother has this whole story. He's going to do this and this and this and this. And I was like, why am I doing this to myself? He doesn't need his own book.
Yep.
But I'm like,
mhm.
he does. Oh my gosh.
I think we've all been there.
yeah.
Yeah.
One of the characters in the Hornet's Nest series, he originally wasn't supposed to be like a permanent fixture. And his book actually became my favorite book in the series, Honeysuckle. It's like smack dab in the middle. It's the biggest book out of all of them. And it just, I don't know, it's my favorite book. And he originally wasn't supposed to even have a full-length book or a book in general. We were just going to let him be a floater. And now he's got a 500-page book that who knew where that came from? Sometimes that's just the way it goes.
Yeah. It's true.
It is. They just magically appear.
Yeah.
So for marketing, your website and your Instagram accounts are just beautiful,
Thank
beautifully
you.
done. Did you design them? Did you have outside help? Like, how do you do your marketing like that?
That is all me. The only thing that I don't do is art and book covers. I have a book cover designer who is the love of my life and she puts up with my crap constantly. And I have a couple different random artists that I really love to work with, but other than that, I spend hours on Canva. The website took me probably a year and a half to get up because I just spent the whole time like, I hate this website. This is making me cry. I'm one of those people that cries when she's frustrated. And so I would just sit there sobbing, trying to put this website together constantly. And like, but yeah, eventually I got it. And it is beautiful. Very proud of it.
Yeah.
It is. It's
You
gorgeous.
did
You've got a
great.
beautiful, like,
Thank you.
themed, everything looks great on there.
Thank you.
And we also saw in there you have your own swag, which is awesome. Do
I
you
do.
have specific artists that do your swag designs for you? And how does that work in terms of
Um,
printing and shipping and everything?
It just depends. Like a lot of the times, like with some artists, I just pay commercial fees and then I can use that kind of like for art prints and stuff like that. A lot of the times, like with the stickers and stuff like that, it's just Canva. Again, me thinking around on Canva. The logo for the new series, which is this one, I got that made by someone who does actual real life company logos. And so I got that created so I can slap that on a whole bunch of stuff and kind of go from there. But for the most part, it's just collective either art that I've got or art that I make. One or the
Nice.
other.
Love it.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
yeah. You're absolutely gorgeous. I'm kind of jealous because I'm not
Yeah.
spatially,
Visually,
visually
yeah.
talented with like making things look nice. So I'm impressed.
That's what I was talking to this new PA I've been working with, and we had just talked to an author recently, or I think maybe it's the one we just posted, maybe Nuha. If we were talking about how like you could spend like an hour and a half on a Canva design, and then you look at it and you're like, what did I just do with my life?
Oh,
Yeah.
it happens all the time. Listen, it happens constantly. Like even I can like pump out like 3 beautiful things. The 4th one, you're on hour 5. You're like, something's wrong with you. And I don't know what it is. And
Yeah.
actually, I said this yesterday. Me and my PA were talking about making things, and she was making something for herself. And she's like, there's something wrong with it. And I was like, change the background color. Helped. Good.
Nice.
Roll it out. It's perfect now.
Yeah.
Half the time, it's
beautiful.
Oh
just
my
the background color. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
yeah,
sense.
that fixed it a little bit. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah. I was making a flyer once for an event and a friend of mine, she's a graphic designer by trade. And I was like, "Hey, can you like double check this for me?" And she's like, So what are you trying to do? I'm
Yep.
like, I was trying to make a flyer, but I guess I didn't.
Yeah. I've heard that one before from my cover artist. She also makes the logos for the team. So like the Hornets
Mhm.
logo that you see on everything, and the Hillcats will have their own logo and stuff like that. She makes them all. I'll bring something to her and she'll be like, "Oh, wow, okay." And like you can tell she's trying to be nice to me, and I'm like, "Shit, it's so bad, isn't it?" She'd be like, "Well, you could fix this," but I also like to bother her, and like I'll send her things with like Comic Sans on them. And she's like, "Do not ever send me this again." And I'm like, "What? You love Comic Sans. It's your favorite font."
Everybody loves
Yeah.
Comic Sans.
Everyone loves Comic
Oh
Sans.
my
What?
goodness.
Yeah.
That's
So
hilarious. Oh my gosh. So you've mentioned before that one of the most important things for you in like your author business and in general is just creating a safe space for readers, which is kind of why we wanted to do this podcast as well. Can you tell us a little bit about how you go about creating that community and then also keeping toxicity out of it?
um it's hard. It's not easy by any means. And sometimes we definitely there's been some bumps on the road, especially like in the street team and with the climate of everything going on. You've got a
Mhm.
convergence of a lot of different people and stuff like that. And there's been times where I've had to very politically be like, "Hey, you don't want to be in this space and you're not going to use this space properly. You can
Yeah.
leave this space."
Yeah.
And like, I think that's the hardest part if we're leaning like on the far end of it, is like being like, "Hey, this will always be a space for all of these things. If you don't agree with them, that's fine. But
Mhm.
if you're going to
Yep.
make this space dangerous for someone else in that situation, then
Mhm.
not fine." And
Yeah.
so I definitely, after creating that space, keeping those boundaries and being like, "Hey, I'm a really nice person. I love having you guys here. This is great. This
Yeah.
is so much fun. But do not ruin that,
Yeah.
because I will not be a nice person if you ruin that," like, kind of thing. And
Mhm.
um I definitely like, for me, writing has always been one of those things that I think for a lot of us, we like to go and like create worlds and being different spaces and having conversations with people. And that sounds crazy, but like having conversations with different characters and creating these spaces and events and all these things. And I think that for me, growing up, a lot of reading was being able to disappear into those spaces. And so I wanted to not just like write books that were feel good, because I mean, we all love a feel good book, but I've always been drawn to like, I obviously CW shows where the main drama is the worst thing you can ever think of. And I just, I like creating a space for people to feel okay with their mental health and feel seen every once in a while, being like, "Hey, I've never read this in a book, or I haven't read a book like this before. And I'm struggling with the same things these people are struggling with. And now I kind of have a friend to relate with in this character." And that was super important to me. Like, one of the things that I'm most proud of is with that third book with Dean and Josh's book. Josh is a main character that the book is romance, and it is rivals to lovers. And I think a lot of times with that genre, you get sort of like that high heat, fast pace, like aggression and like back and forth and stuff like that, which I'm a sucker for. I love that crap. But Josh is touch averse and he has a really dark history. And what was important to me was making sure that, like, as someone who's also very touch averse, having a situation where it wasn't solved by love. And so as we go through that book is not spicy at all, because as you go through the book, he does start to open up and things like that, but he opens up in an emotional way, not a physical way. And I like creating spaces like that, because there are people that are reading these books that are asexual and they're all of these things, and they don't relate to the heavy spice in it, but they still want to read books that are safe for them in that situation. I don't know. I just like creating little bubbles where people can be like, "Hey, I feel seen. This is really
Mhm.
cool."
Yeah.
And I think it's important that coming out of writing those books, I still create that space for people on my page and in my street team and all of these things, and being like, "Hey, that's not just a book. your bubble
Mhm.
is this whole thing. Like, you can be safe in here with me. I don't mind. So,
Yeah. That's amazing. No,
I
that's great.
absolutely love that. Be- because I had one book that I was writing with touch aversion, and I was trying to find other comps to be like, these are like, and I found one. This was like in like the Kindle Vella heyday there, and I was the only one who had that tag, and I was like, is anybody
Yeah.
else want to write this? So
Yeah.
I'm really glad you did.
yeah.
I-
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I'm
Yeah.
really glad that
And I
you're
mean,
providing that for
yeah,
people.
exactly. It's
Yeah,
definitely important. Oh, sorry.
for sure.
Yeah.
No, it's all good.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's part of being an author
Mhm.
is just doing a million things. Like you're doing your Canva graphics, you're doing your writing and editing and
Uh-huh.
social media. So it's
Yep.
exhausting a lot of the time. How do you refill your own well, prevent burnout, and take time for yourself? Yeah,
Is
we
that
have the same
something you do?
problem.
Do we do that? Do we do that? Um,
Yeah.
it's like one of those things where, like, do I
Yeah.
lie and be like, yeah, I do
No, no.
all these things? I think a
Brutal
lot of the
honesty.
times, I I have lupus, and so a lot of the times, like, and especially living in Canada, like, weather affects it, and you get sore and you get tired and you're foggy and all these things. I think I'm just coming off of kind of a downslide, but, like, when I hit those burnouts, I try to recognize them and not fight against them, because
Mhm.
I feel
Yeah.
like I've learned in the past that me fighting against them doesn't do anything for me. I just get
Mm.
mad or more frustrated or more down on myself and things like that. And so I try to take just a couple days where I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna binge watch a TV show. I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Well,
get
that's
other
good.
things
Yeah.
like, and I feel like a lot of the times with burnout, the reason we don't stop is because we don't want to feel like we're not being productive. And
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest things for me. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
you're sitting still. You're not being
Yeah.
very productive right now. You
Yeah.
should probably be doing something.
Yeah.
And so, like, I will carry my iPad around the house and I'll get weird things done that I wouldn't necessarily do normally. And it still lets me feel productive while I'm not hyper focusing on the fact that I can't break my writer's block or I can't find my creativity on
Mhm.
Canva or anything like that.
Yeah.
And most of the time watching a TV show, I'm like, oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And then the next day I want to write. So it
That's
does
good.
help a little bit, but
Yeah. No, we ask some authors this question too, and we've had a few people who actually look after themselves. But we're always like, yeah, we really struggle with that.
power to them.
And I,
Yeah.
yeah, because I was away at our friend's cottage just after Christmas, and we recorded podcasts while I was there. I was working on my book, and so I said,
Mhm.
our friends are taking our children next, like the Valentine's Day weekend, and we're just gonna have the house to ourselves. My book is going out to ARC readers a couple days before, so I said, I'm gonna turn off. Like, I'm not gonna do a single thing all weekend. So I'm gonna test it out, see how it works. I'll report back.
I believe in you, okay?
I
Seriously.
as your friend, it's not that I doubt you, it's that, I can't think of a positive way to say this.
Mm. Oh,
You know me
absolutely
a little
fuck.
too well? Is that the problem?
Yeah, is your husband taking your electronics away from
I
you?
don't
Is
know.
that what's happening?
Maybe I should
Lock him
tell
in a
him to
box
do that.
Locked him
somewhere?
in a box, yeah. Yeah, I could never.
You're just gonna be on this scavenger hunt.
I said the same thing about Christmas. We went to my parents for Christmas, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to work over Christmas. I was up at 4 o'clock
Yeah.
in the morning, just
Yeah.
typing away on the computer before anybody got
Yeah.
up so I could keep working.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
didn't work. But
I did buy a date night D&D book that we can do just the two of us.
ooh,
It's
that's
supposed to take like
fun.
2 or 3 hours, so we'll see how that works
Mhm.
out.
Yeah,
But that'll
so
be
you're gonna come out of it with a new D&D lit
yeah.
RPG storyline. You're gonna write a
Ooh,
book on.
yeah.
We'll do our
The
game, and
time's
then
gonna
I'll
hit
just
on that 3-hour mark, and you're just gonna be scribbling away.
sneak up to my room and start plotting. Exactly.
Just sitting in the closet typing so no one can see you.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
If no one can see me,
Oh
I'm
my-
not working. It's fine.
It's like a bear in the woods,
Exactly.
right? Oh my god. It's hard. It's hard.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. So we've talked about like the struggles we have with like self care and everything, and taking care of yourself. But like, do you celebrate like your book launches or like just finishing writing a book? Is that something that happens for you?
Um, I not as much finishing a book. I write kind of fast, and I tend to just go from one to the next. People are like, "Oh,
Yes.
are you taking a break?" My therapist asks me all the time. She's like, "Oh, kitty cat." And he's
Oh.
like, "Oh, you finished your book. Are you going to take a break this week and then start your new one next week?" And I'm like, I on the way over here, I actually started the new one. So, no. But launch days I do try definitely to kind of sink into them a little bit. I have really nice friends and I have a really nice community, and like I have a friend who always sends me a little release gift that kind of goes with the theme
Oh.
of the book,
Aw.
or flowers. I think I found a recipe for, so the rugby series, they're all named after bar drinks because the main place that they all hang out is the bar, the Hollow. And so they all have their own drink specials named after them. And so the first one is brown sugar espresso martini. And I found a recipe for a espresso martini like birthday cake, and it's my
Ooh.
birthday the day after the book comes out, or the day before the book comes out. It's my birthday, and so I think I'm gonna make like a espresso martini birthday cake for myself to kind of like celebrate the launch day the next day, kind of thing. But that's
Nice.
like the most I've done, and it feels so extra to do that. But I was like, should I do this? And then everyone was like, do it. And I was like, okay, it's gonna be a disaster, but I don't bake. But
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
It'll be like what's the one that's like the fails cake? Like what is that
Oh,
baking
yeah.
show where they I don't
Nailed it.
nailed it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
like, I know which
Yeah.
one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Couldn't name it for
Could
my
not.
life, but like
No.
that's what's
No.
gonna happen.
It's all right though.
It's gonna be lopsided. It's gonna be
As long-
half iced, but it's
As long
gonna
as
be
it tastes
great.
good, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
good.
Or it's just a learning experience.
Yeah.
Maybe I find out that I am actually a really great baker,
There
and
you
it
go.
comes out
Special
incredible.
skill
Who knows?
unlocked.
I doubt that,
Yeah.
but one can hope that this goes well.
What is one thing not tied to money that would make you feel like you've totally made it as an author? Next level.
This is a really weird one because it took me a couple times of it happening to be like, why would you do that? But I've actually had people tattoo themselves. There's there's like 4 or 5 of them now. And every time I get tagged in
Wow.
one, I'm like, what is wrong with you? Because like my brain just, I'm like, that's, and like most of them are tattooed in a way that like down the road, if they regret tattooing it for a book, they can be like, oh no, this is just a flower. Like some of them have gotten lavender stalks for honey
Okay.
pot, and a couple of the girls have gotten vases, but it's got a flower from each of the book cover in it. And then a couple people have the hornet. And then recently, from the newest novella that just came out, my PA actually went and got a moth on her forearm
cool.
for that
Nice.
book. And even yesterday they're beta reading the street racing book, and there's a line in it, and they all started, they're like, oh, you know what we should do? Let's go get group tattooed for this. And I was like, you guys, you can't get tattooed for a book that doesn't even have a name. I was like, please don't. I was like, I can't handle this. Stop. But like that
That can be the launch day event.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm just like, that's one thing that like I don't think that I will ever wrap my head around, is them doing stuff like that. Like getting tattoos to me is like,
Yeah. It's permanent. Yeah.
it's permanent. Like you're putting that on your body. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Don't
What
know
a huge
she-
compliment.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. And I'll never go for that one.
Well, new goal unlocked.
Yeah.
New goal unlocked.
Oh my gosh. Has a reader ever said anything to you that like really stuck with you in a good way? Besides saying, "Hey, I'm gonna tattoo this line from your book on my body."
Besides saying this flower's tattooed on my skin forever. I had it was actually right after Honeysuckle came out. I had someone who Arc read the book, and she emailed me, which blew my mind in general because most of the time they'll DM you, right?
Yeah.
And so she
Mhm.
emailed me, and she had emailed me a letter talking about her experience with that sort of mental health obstacle and things like that. And I sobbed. And I have the letter saved. I printed it off. It's folded. It's tucked away. But
Oh.
like, I sobbed because it was like one of those moments where I was like, you know what? Even if everyone that else that read this book gave it 0 stars and hated the crap out of it, that one person read it and it hit so hard with her, and it gave her gave her a space, gave her a safe space to be and things like that, and that's all that matters to me. And
Oh.
it reminded me in that moment to just continue to write what I wanna write, and it'll find the people that it needs to find.
Definitely.
So,
Yeah.
That's
mm,
awesome.
I think that's just
Oh
a
my
big
god.
part of
Again,
the book
creating that safe
community.
space.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
connections and, understanding other people's experiences and
Yeah.
seeing that you're not alone. Like, that's just such an important part of the romance book community, especially to me.
Oh,
So, yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
especially when, like, the other side of it is, like, extreme discourse constantly. So,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
having those moments with readers and with community members and, like,
Mhm.
other people and stuff like that is it it reminds you, you're like, "Oh, yeah, this is why I like
Yes.
writing."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Mhm, yeah.
Yeah. So you're a mom as well. I am too. So I understand the struggles. How do you balance your family and your writing, and how does that work for you?
My office door has a lock on it. No, just kidding.
X in the
It does
cupboard.
actually have
You're
a lock.
fine.
It does actually have a lock on it,
Yeah.
but for some reason the lock's on the outside, so, like, if my husband ever got sick of me, we're good
Yeah.
to go.
He's just lock you in there with
No,
the kids, though.
I
He'd throw the kids
am
in there first.
maybe, maybe not, who knows? That'd be all at war. I honestly, I am extremely lucky in my situation that I have one of those unicorn husbands that I don't know, we've been together for 16 years now, and he just understands my brain, and he understands who I am as a human being and things like that. And like when we bought this house, when we were house searching, it was it wasn't like, oh, we need a big living room or oh, we need a big kitchen or anything like that. It was like, we need an office, we need a space for you to have your own space kind of thing. And like that's sort of the mindset that he goes through life with. And I think and I am so lucky with my children as well. Like both of them are so incredibly smart and well behaved and independent and things like that. And like they balancing is made easy because they help balance
Yeah.
it way more than I probably deserve 90% of the time. So I think that question is always hard for me because I always feel like I sound so like pretentious about it, but genuinely balancing my author life and them is so easy because they help balance it. I don't even have to think about it 90% of the time.
Yeah.
They just,
No, that's awesome.
it's just
Yeah.
seamless, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, so cool.
Oh, I feel that. My husband's great. My children are also great, and they're 13 now, so they're very like they are much more in that independent. Yeah. But
Hmm.
then also job. There's just so many things pulling you, right?
Yeah, 100% all the
Mhm.
time.
Yeah. So when you do get a chance to write then, do you have a weird like writing ritual that you do, or you have to have these specific snacks or this playlist or a specific outfit?
Um, Trying to think. I definitely am a playlist person. Anytime I start a book, playlist gets started right along with it. I'm not a huge snacker in general. Like I have my emotional support water bottle that goes everywhere with me, and I really like buffalo Pringles, and I really like wasabi peas. But all of those things are things that if you eat them in large quantities, your stomach will be like, hey, can we not do that anymore? Not a huge snacker or anything like that, but definitely my water and my playlists would probably be my first go-tos when sitting down to write. And I don't change my outfits because I'm a gremlin. And honestly, this is the first clean t-shirt that I've put on in 3 days for you guys. I was like, I'm going to put on a clean t-shirt just for them. Not that you would know that the other one was dirty, but I would know. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to wear a clean t-shirt for them.
Yeah. What type of music do you have on your list?
I am a little bit of everything music lover. Like, I don't have a genre that I actually hate. I really love lyrics and I like weird beats. And so a lot of my music is like that. But I think my music tends to lean a little bit heavier into indie rock and stuff like that. And like, I am definitely grew up listening to My Chemical Romance and Fall Out Boy and Blink-182 and that sort of like Pierce the Veil. Like, I was an emo kid growing up. So like my music leans into that. And like, even when if I'm stuck in a rut and I can't write, in the playlist that I have going isn't helping me. I have like I call it the Clubhouse playlist, and it is basically all of the music that I listened to from like 2000s to 2010 in high school, and I throw that on and it just makes me feel so much better instantly makes me feel better. But it just depends, I guess, on where I'm sitting. Sometimes I only listen to Noah Kahan. Sometimes I've got One Direction blasting. It just depends on the day. Some Doechii. Oh, when you're like really need to like feel yourself and like really hype yourself up, blasting Doechii does it every time. It cures every ailment that I have.
That should be your if you're going to a like an in-person thing, that'd be your hype music before you step out there.
Oh, 100%. Yes. Yeah.
See, when I get nervous or I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm good enough, I like to listen to I'm Sorry You're Not a Winner.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll do it.
I'll be like jumping around my house singing it, and I'll be like, I'm a winner.
It makes you feel better. And I say this all the time. Like, I think that it's that sort of that science behind when people rewatch TV shows over and over again, because like it's familiar and stuff like that. Like listening to The Anthem by Good Charlotte full blast in my ears, or Make Damn Sure by Taking Back Sunday, blasting that in my ears and just singing it at the top of my lungs. Oh, it just like it's free therapy. It just makes you feel better. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
Music is
so good.
Just special. Like it just has that.
It is special.
Trigger
Music
in your
is
brain.
really special.
Sometimes it just takes you back to a certain time in your life or a place or something. Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes when people are like, "Oh, I don't like music very much," I'm like,
okay, are you okay? Like,
are you do you need me to help you? Like, do you need suggestions?
Yeah.
Oh,
So out of the whole process, is the writing part your favorite, or do you have another favorite part?
Think so. I think getting to write the part that like kicked it all off in your brain. Sometimes when you get like a scene and you're like, oh, I could write a book around this. And then you finally get to write that scene. That gives me some serotonin. I really like that. And if not writing, I think the writing is my favorite part, but I also really love making mood boards. Love making mood boards. That's always fun.
Awesome. So I know you're not supposed to have favorite children, but do you have a favorite character that you've written?
I feel like I'd probably get roasted on a Spitfire, and I probably still will if I didn't say Kale Cody. If you threw a rock, you'd probably hit 15 Kale Cody fans in the face, and they'd say thank you just for it. But I think it's so hard. This is such a hard question because there's so many characters now. It was so easy when there was 3 of them, but now there's 15 of them, and see, Kale's not my favorite. Kale is their favorite. I think my favorite actually might be the MMC from the newest book, Brighton. And I'm going to say purely because he hates Cale Cody so much. They are slightly related. Cale is his, I'm going to say nephew-in-law, ex-nephew-in-law. He was married to Cale's aunt. And every time Cale appears in the new book, Brighton just wants to commit murder. And I think that it was so therapeutic for me to be able to write that because of the fact that everyone has loved Cale for so long. Like, Cale's an angel. Cale can do no wrong. Everyone loves him. He's like protection squad, no one touch him kind of thing. And then you come across Brighton and he's just like, I want to shove him in a closet and keep him there for the rest of his life so I never have to hear his voice again. Like, he just instantly gets ticked off when Cale is even mentioned in a room or a note. And I just think that it's so funny being able to have a character that hates another character so much in the same world. And I think that is why Brighton is my favorite, because he gave me that outlet to be like, you know what? Screw Cale. You guys love Cale so much. Screw Cale. There's other characters, you guys. Screw
Is that
Cale.
one that's already out yet, that book?
Honeypot is. So this one is Cale's book, and it's the second book in the Hornet's Nest series. And then Brighton is in the first one in the new rugby series. So he's the main FMC. This is the one that comes out in March.
Okay.
So
but
they are connected. Like, it's the rugby series and the baseball series are in the same town.
Oh, nice. Do you think that that is going to affect how people look at Brighton because of how much he hates Cale?
I thought so. I thought it would. I thought it would with the beta readers. And for some reason, the beta readers thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, okay.
They were like, I love how worked up Brighton gets around Cale. And I'm like, honestly, at some point, I had thoughts of being like, you know what, Brighton could strangle Cale in this book, and I could figure out how to write it in a way that didn't seem like I was just doing it to do it, because it would be funny. But I didn't do that because I'm a good person.
Yeah. You don't want to kill off the favorite.
We'll see, though. They definitely, the beta readers that read it, some of them are definitely Cale diehards. They were very excited when Cale showed up in the book, but they also thought it was pretty funny when Brighton got pissed off about it. So we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see how
good.
it goes.
That's good. Yeah.
I love that. Oh, that's hilarious.
Have you ever had to Google anything crazy for one of your books? Like how not to murder this guy you don't like? But
so the street racing series is definitely a lot darker. It's there's more crime in it. It's not like the sports series whatsoever. And I have a friend who's a nurse, and I call her Nurse Maddie. And I actually tend to message her more than I use Google because obviously she's got firsthand knowledge, and I don't have to like question what she's telling me. Like, I don't have to Google it further and be like, is that the correct answer you're giving me, Google, or are you lying to me? And a couple weeks ago, I was writing a passage, and I messaged her, and I was like, this is going to alarm you. I said, but I promise it's for a book. I was like, how much Benadryl can you give a man without killing him but would knock him out? I was like, or alternatively, what are some oral ways to knock someone out? And like, she was like, Aubrey, what are you were you knocking out? What are you doing? And I was like, no, it's a book character thing where she's like, okay, do you want to like kill them or just like put them to sleep? And like, she just went with it. And then we delete all those messages after so that the FBI doesn't track us down and put us on a watch list, because also that would happen. I ask her all the time though, like, especially with like sports injuries or like someone gets shot in this street racing book near the end of it, and I was like, where could you shoot someone that wouldn't kill them but they would bleed a lot? And she was just like, oh no, okay, here we go.
I love that. I feel like as authors, we need to like accumulate as many people with
experts,
like random specialties
100%. If you
possible.
don't have a nurse friend, find one, because they are hilarious to ask these questions to, and they always have a story that goes along with it. You can be like, oh yeah, could you survive getting a pencil stuck in your eye? And they'll have a story from the ER of someone doing that exact thing, and you're like, oh sweet, so it's like a real thing that happened.
One of our author besties and our very first guest is a nurse. We went off on a not
Mm-hmm.
injury related, but a tangent that we had to cut out of the podcast because we're like, you can't, this is not good.
Maybe we can't say that. No, nope, we cannot put that on a podcast. That's fair.
But she's awesome. Yeah.
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 Oh my gosh. Speaking of putting things into your book that are real, have you ever snuck in a pet or a partner or a bestie or somebody you wanted to take revenge on into your books?
My husband is going to love this answer when he listens to this. So my husband is the kind of person that cannot keep a secret. I know everything. And like the guys that he hangs out with have been his best friend for as long as I've been his girlfriend, wife. And so I know them all like they're brothers. And he'll come home from any random activity and just tell me everything that they've told him. I know everything. Like I know everything. And it's concerning. I will use some of the stories from his single friends, the horror stories, which his friends believe are triumphs in bed. And I will put them in the book as insults. Like in Honey Pot, the female main character, in the very beginning, she's telling her friend about a horrible date she went on. And the story that she tells her is a story that my husband has recited back to me by one of his friends. And it's in there. And I am just so glad that they're never going to read it. Because my husband reads the books and he comes across the moments and he's like, you didn't put that in there. And I'm like, it's in there. It's in there. And it's so funny to me. It's so funny to me. And like, the bar in the rugby series is a first responder bar. And I've had so many people ask me to write a firefighter series, but all of my husband's friends, who I see as brothers, are firefighters. Every single one of them are firefighters. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, if they find out that I wrote firefighter romance, I'll never hear the end of it. And so in the rugby series, a lot of them are first responders. None of them are firefighters. And there's like a running joke of absolute disdain for the firefighters in these books. And I'm like, that is as close as you're going to get for firefighters from me, because I can't do it, you guys. I can't give you firefighters because it's just gross. I'll never hear it. So
I wonder, like, because obviously that story you told the guy had told you basically, but the girl obviously experienced that. Has a reader ever been like, that was my story?
No, but I would actually pay. Like, I would probably seek this girl out and be like, I am so sorry for what happened to you. Like, I get so mad at them all the time. I'm like, you can't say that. You can't do that. I'm like, this is why women hate you. Stop. Like, oh my God, it grows me all the time. I'm just like, nope, don't do that. Don't. Yeah, but they've produced some really great horror stories for the books, which is nice.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah. So you've talked about how important found family is in your books.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have your own found family that's your author support system, and how did you build that?
I definitely do. A lot of it started during COVID, obviously, when everyone was locked down, and a lot of us were still writing fan fiction. And there were kind of talks of leaving a lot of those sites because they weren't really good anymore or productive to growth, or they were kind of just toxic and stuff like that. And we had created a Discord where we could all stay in contact and continue to write and do things and like have that space that wasn't so toxic. And I made a really good group of friends through that have been incredible. And I have real life friends that have been incredible, like people that I've known for years that support the crap out of me and stuff like that. And like my whole system as a human being runs on found family. Like I think that it's so important for people to have those connections. And yeah, like I just honestly, like I feel like I didn't knowingly build a found family.
Yeah.
It just kind of showed up organically, and I'm so grateful that it did, because like It was anything from starting the Discord or like MK, my PA, she's one of my best friends in the whole world. And she just like after Bad Honey was published, she slid into my DMs and bullied me into being her friend. And I have never been so grateful to be bullied by another human being because it's just these people become your family over time.
Mhm.
And I'm so grateful for them every single day. I would go insane
For sure,
constantly
yeah.
without them. So, because they
Yeah.
also, especially when you create a found family from this community, they have an understanding of what you're doing and what you're going through. Like, I can't necessarily look at some of my friends and be like, man, I had to spend 6 hours on Canva yesterday, social media marketing, because they're like, oh, you're a social media influencer. And you're like,
I just wanna sell my
no.
books.
Yeah, literally, I have to do it to sell my books. Stop being mean to me. Yeah,
I
like, you know
just
what I
wanna
mean?
pay
So,
my
like, they
bills.
don't,
Yeah.
a lot of them don't understand that, like,
Yeah.
what we're doing
Yeah.
on the side is also a full-time job.
Yeah.
But a lot of the community members that become our found family, they actually understand the
Mhm.
bottom line. Like, hey, you're doing your job and you're working hard.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Um, so I actually saw somebody the other day and they were wearing a sweatshirt and it said like everybody watches women's sports.
Mhm.
And being that you're now writing women's rugby sports, can you tell us how this is like translating into the fictional world and that more people are supporting female sports and watching female sports?
It makes me so
How does
happy.
that affect you?
It makes me
Mhm.
so happy. I think that the hatred towards women over the last like couple years with the climate of things that are going on, I think it didn't affect society the way these people in power thought it would. I think that it had a negative
Mhm.
reaction and it created like this um echo or a wave of like, hey, you know what? You may hate us. We love ourselves. And there is a society of people that want to watch us play sports. Like the PWHL, the Women's Hockey
Mhm.
League.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They're killing
If you're
it.
not
Yeah.
watching that, if you're not watching that, honestly, that's probably the PWHL is more interesting than the NHL half the time. And I'll stand by that statement. And like, I stand by the statement that female rugby players are elite. Like the if you male rugby players are incredible. They're incredible athletes, but female rugby is 100% better to watch in terms of their technical skill, their gameplay, their drive, like everything about it is just so much better. And I think that having books and showcasing powerful women in the front seat as athletes in books is so important to the conversation that is already budding
Mhm.
about
Yeah.
like rising these women up and being like, hey, they're strong. They're fucking cool. Like, we should be
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
this more.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's awesome.
But we're both
I love
writing
that. I
roller
mean,
derby
we're both
romance right now,
I'm
and that was part
so
of it. It
excited.
was just
When
like
you mentioned it
yeah.
earlier, I was like,
Yeah.
I need that in my hands
Yeah.
right now because
Yeah.
roller derby is so cool.
It's so cool. Yeah, so
Gosh,
in
it
my
is.
hockey series, the second book, the female main character is a roller derby girl and her best friend. So the first book in my derby series is her best friend, and
That's sick.
she gets to come back, and she was one of my favorite characters to write, and her the MMC from that book too. So it was just a really fun book to write, and I can't wait to write more in the series because it's just such a fun
Oh,
sport, and it's so women driven and so community driven, and
I
yeah,
love that so
yeah.
much.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are there any tropes that you would never write or thought you'd never write, but then you did?
Um, oh, people hate when I say this, but I am incapable of writing age gap. It doesn't hit, like, it just doesn't go into my mind in a smooth way where I can be like, oh yeah, I could write this.
Mm-hmm.
Like age gap is sick. I've read plenty of age gaps that were good
Yeah.
and things like that, but I don't think that I'd ever be able to write that ever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
fair. Every no,
Interesting.
there's authors for every books and there's readers for every books, and
mhm,
not everyone's going to write
Mm-hmm.
everything. You have to write what works for you.
exactly.
Yeah.
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 Exactly. So we like to have each week our authors ask one question to the listeners.
Mm-hmm.
And we post this question on our Instagram and on our YouTube so that like the listeners can respond. What would you like to ask your readers or the listeners out there?
Maybe what's one sport that you don't see written enough? Like, what's one sport that you want to see in a sports romance?
I love that.
That's not like the main three. That's not baseball, hockey, or football.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's a good one. I want to know too. I think I keep seeing pickleball
Tell me.
stories come up. I've
There's
seen
been
a few
pickleball
recently.
ones.
Yeah.
I think one of the only ones that I don't ever see is there's not a lot of volleyball,
Yeah.
which I don't know how you would do that, but like
Yeah.
there's lots of volleyball anime and manga. So like you'd think that it would translate somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Swimmers.
Yeah.
There's been a couple swimmers.
I have
Yeah.
seen a couple
Seems
swimmers.
to-
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, I like that. As somebody who wrote the first ever speed cubing one, I feel
That's sick.
really positive
Seriously?
about that. Yeah.
You're gonna have to DM me the name of it after, please.
Will do.
Because they're
Please and
fast
thank
with
you.
their fingers, right? That's the
Yeah,
point
exactly. I was gonna say
They're
those are
so fast.
yeah.
Yeah.
I see where you're
I
going
actually,
with it.
yeah, I had I was doing an event at a local bookstore and I actually had a guy come through and he competed as his professional like speed cuber for a while. And like he bought my book and he went over and was reading it and he came back and he's like, "This is so well done. This is so true to the sport and everything." And
I love compliments like that where
And
they're
you're
like, "Man,
did you
you
get to
really
the
know the
smutty
sport." And you're
part
like,
yet?
yeah, he hadn't reached the smut yet. But I did make it clear because he asked if it was nonfiction, and I said no, it is definitely a romance.
"This is
So
a
he
romance
knew.
book."
You're just going to be
That's funny.
really surprised when he gets there.
No, I love
Hilarious.
that.
Okay. And then one final question we ask everybody is if you could read any trope for the rest of your life, what would it be?
One trope for the rest of my life.
It's a big commitment.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say hurt comfort. Can I use that one?
So
'Cause
good.
it's not like-
Yeah.
It's not like a trope. Like it doesn't give
Mhm.
you any like sort of genre or vibes, but like if you put hurt comfort in
Yeah.
a book, you sign me
Mhm.
up.
Good.
That's
good
a
one.
good one. I like that. All right. Well, thank you so much, Aubrey, for coming out and letting us peek behind the curtain of your author life. Before we forget, can you tell us the book that you're currently working on or like the next book that's going to come out and where our listeners can pre-order it?
Currently, we are sitting on brown sugar. This is the proof, so it's got like an ugly little thing on it.
Pretty.
We're sitting on brown sugar espresso martini. It comes out March 20th of this year. The ARC signups for this book are still open through Luna for a little while, I think until nearly the end of the month. So like if you wanted to get an advance copy of this, that's still open. And then I'm currently working on the second book to go along with that one, hoping that it is out by the end of the year. We'll see. And you can also pre-order physical copies of that book on my website
Nice. Yeah.
Ooh,
for that one.
nice.
So
Beautiful.
I like that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And where can our listeners find you online? Just your social media, website. We'll post the links in the show notes as well.
Yeah. So most of my socials are just Aubrey Taylor author, all one word, no spaces or capitals or anything. Or my website is the same, just .com. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not really on TikTok, but I am very active on Instagram, and I have a Facebook group, which I sent you guys the link. Well, I will send you the link for. And yeah, so those are my two most active places, Instagram and Facebook.
Awesome.
Awesome. Oh, well, thank you so much again for joining us today. It has just been amazing to sit down and chat with you.
Yeah, it was
I'm
a
really
great
grateful.
conversation. Thank you so much. And it was great
Yeah,
getting
Thank
to
you
know
guys
you.
for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
It was
course.
our pleasure.
Thanks for getting dirty with us. If you had fun, leave a review on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. New episodes will be released every Wednesday, and we've got an amazing lineup of authors to share with you.
If there's someone you'd love to see on our show, or you've got burning questions for your favorite authors, send us an email to backstagewiththebookbabes@gmail.com or leave us a comment on our social media accounts. You can find us on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok, Backstage with the Book Babes. Links and applications for authors to join us as guests are at linktree/Backstage with the Book Babes.
You can follow me, Albie Blake, with that handle on social media, specifically Instagram and TikTok.
You can follow me, Nikki Jewell, and learn about my books at authornikkijewell.com. I'm also on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at NikkiJewell_books.
Thanks again for joining the party. Keep turning those pages and keep it spicy.